Achievements of the past 2 decades to promote the social and economic welfare of our people. While we are very grateful to the international community for the humanitarian support which they provided, we would like to see more emphasis on development to ensure a successful transition from humanitarian assistance to recovery. The peace dividend must be manifest in concrete results for the people of Somaliland. We look forward to closer cooperation with the United Nations and international organizations, as well as strengthening bilateral links with donor community who have positively signaled their commitment in this regard. Development assistance alone will not be enough to lift Somaliland out of poverty. Investment and economic diversification will be key. Since the Kulmiya administration, that's my party, came to power, it has made a concerted effort to raise revenue and broaden its sources. As a result, the last quarter saw a 24% increase in revenue. If sustained, the government will be able to spend more of our own money on economic and social development. My government also recognizes the need to boost Somaliland's exports and diversify its markets. Provided that the issue of veterinary certificates can be overcome, we do not believe that it's fanciful to think of exporting our lamb, which is excellent, by the way, to the European Union. The lifting of the ban on the export of livestock from the Rift Valley by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was an important and welcome development, but the ban demonstrated the need for Somaliland to have other outlets for its trade. Somaliland also needs better roads and telecommunications. The Berbera corridor, including the port of Berbera itself, is of vital importance to our future economic prosperity, as well as being important to our landlocked neighbor, Ethiopia. The government is seeking foreign direct investment in infrastructure and is preparing to make investing in Somaliland more attractive to foreign companies. Such improvements will be powerful drivers of economic growth and much-needed revenue. Smaller-scale projects at the community level will be equally important. Here, I believe that the Somali diaspora has an important part to play in leveraging its considerable resources. More widely, there is a clear need to promote Somaliland as a trade and investment opportunity. That's part of the reason why I'm here in the UK, where we have just inaugurated the first Anglo-Somaliland Chamber of Commerce on 23rd November 2010. Over the course of the past week, I have met with many business leaders and potential investors who recognize the unique opportunities of investing in the emerging markets of Somaliland. I hope that you will spread the word that Somaliland is open for business. Now, the issue of recognition. I make no secret of the fact that my government's ultimate goal is full international recognition of Somaliland's independence as a sovereign state. We believe that such international recognition, long overdue, will allow us to unlock more direct assistance, promote more trade and investment, maintain our security, and further the social and economic well-being of our people. Secession was not born out of a top-down approach, but was the popular expression of the overwhelming majority of the Somaliland people who sought to exercise their international legal right to self-determination, similar to Kosovo, East Timor, and elsewhere. Upon gaining its independence from Great Britain in 1960, the Republic of Somaliland was recognized by some 35 countries before entering into a voluntary union with Somalia in the same year. The dissolution of that union and the resumption of Somaliland's independence nearly 20 years ago was not based on territorial expansion, as its present borders are the same as those of 1960. This is particularly relevant to to the African Union principle of respect for borders existing on achievement of independence. We also wait with great interest on the outcome of the upcoming referendum in the South Sudan early in the new year. The situation in Somalia. Despite our non-negotiable position on independence, Somalia bears no ill feeling towards our neighbor Somalia, as it's in nobody's interest to see the conflict in Somalia perpetuated, and wishes the administration of President Sharif and other relevant parties in that country success in ending the long suffering of their people. At the same time, my government views with deep concern the continuing violence and instability in Somalia, which poses a direct threat to Somaliland, the region and the international community. The recent terrorist attacks, including in Kampala during the World Cup, clearly illustrate the need for concerted international cooperation on security issues. The use of Somalia as a base for operations by pirates, the consequences of the breakdown of central government has given the crisis in Somalia an international dimension that stretches far beyond its shores. I am heartened to see the successful conclusion recently of the Chandler's kidnapping after more than a year in captivity. For our part, we have successfully sought to prevent pirate operations on or near our own coast and have taken concrete steps to combat that insidious threat. We will continue to strengthen our capacity as a security provider in our own region with international support as necessary. Clearly, the search for a durable peace in Somalia, which has to date remained elusive, is paramount. Whilst the international community has invested immeasurable resources, time and commitment to the resolution of the Somalia crisis, these efforts have been constrained in part by the fact that they were often externally driven. In the case of Somaliland, a grassroots approach utilizing the best aspects of the traditional conflict resolution at the community level provided the basis for dialogue and peace. It was neither quick nor easy, but we believe that the elements of that model could be successfully replicated in Somalia as appropriate. Integrating with the region. Somalia is not an island. For good or ill, it's affected by events in neighboring countries. Far from wishing to turn our backs on our neighbors, my government wants to improve its interaction with them and with regional organizations such as IGAD and the AU to make sure that Somaliland's voice is heard, its interests are promoted, and the security of its people and neighbors assured. Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Kenya will be key partners in the region. In the same vein, we want closer links to the EU, European Union, the United Nations, and specialized agencies, and the League of Arab States. We also hope to secure stronger ties with individual donors, not least the United States, which recently announced its dual-track policy that will see direct aid and cooperation with Somaliland increase. I very much welcome this as a positive step in keeping the realities on the ground. Relations with the UK. Before concluding, I would once again like to reiterate the special bond between the United Kingdom and the Republic of Somaliland. We will continue to look to Great Britain to be at the forefront of the Somaliland question, including inclinations during difficult times, to generously provide during difficult times, and for the hospitality and sanctuary provided to the Somaliland community here. With the British government support and assistance, including in the areas of security cooperation and economic investment, we continue to make positive strides in the development of our country and will create conditions conducive for those displaced globally with safety and dignity.